Hi, this is Anita from the Dusty Roads podcast. Today I want to talk a little bit about how you can travel with respect and responsibility, especially as we live in this globalized world. Today the world is a lot more interconnected than it's been many times in the past. Click of a few buttons online, you can book your tickets, but you can book your flights, you can book your hotels, you can even book your tours. But I want to talk a little bit about what does it mean to travel with respect and responsibility. And I've listed out here 10 different things that I believe every single traveler can do. If you've been listening to me, you know that I'm a great proponent that I believe very much in how travel opens up our eyes to the world. It gives us new perspectives. It challenges us to act with greater awareness and cultural sensitivity. So, borders feel like maybe a bit closer and cultures more connected. Learning to be respectful and responsible traveler is more critical than ever. So here are some things that you can do. First of all, number one, respect the local people always. No matter where you go, remember that you are the guest. Respecting locals should be non-negotiable. Be kind. Kindness goes a long way. Avoid treating people as spectacles. Ask before taking photos if you're not sure. And learn basic phrases. Learn to say hello, thank you, or other things. Learn a few basic phrases. Learn to also honor local customs and traditions. Every place has its own rhythm, rules, and values. Take time to learn and be able to adapt a little bit to them. Dress modestly where needed. In many parts of the world, especially in religious, sites, modest clothing is expected. So make sure that you understand and you dress modestly. Follow religious etiquette. If it requires taking your shoes off when entering temples, covering your head when required, and stay quiet in sacred spaces. Respect other people's religion and traditions. Don't assume that Western norms apply. Not every country view time, space, or behavior similarly. Adapt by showing respect. The other one is be a conscious environmental steward. Even if the place you're visiting has pollution or visible trash that does not permit you to add it, your role is to do the opposite. Leave no trace. Don't litter. Always dispose of waste properly. If bins are unavailable, carry your trash with you until you find one. Bring a reusable water bottle and bag. Minimize single-use plastics as much as you can. Avoid harmful souvenirs. Avoid, buying things as coral, ivory, exotic woods, or animal products. Purchases which could be seen as illegal and, things which are unsustainable practices. Stick to trails and marked areas. Don't go off onto forbidden areas and destroy the ecosystems that are out there. Support the local economies thoughtfully. Tourism can help communities thrive, but it can also overrun them. Spend your money in a way that uplifts local people. Eat at local restaurants. Skip the global chains. I'm a great believer in this. That, eat wherever you can. Eat locally. Eat at local restaurants. Here in Vietnam, where I live in Hanoi, Vietnam, there are a few chains here. In fact, there's a Starbucks down the street. I've never been into the Starbucks, to be honest with you. There's Burger King also down the street. I've never been in, that maybe I've been in that Burger King once. Maybe once in 5 or 6 years. I eat locally, and I really try to support the local restaurants. Buy locally made products. Choose authentic, handmade, goods over mass-produced souvenirs. Hire local guides. If you're able to hire a local guide, they'll be able to bring you some more profound experiences and insights, and be able to keep the tourism dollars locally in the community. Stay at ethical accommodations. Look for hotels or hostels that pay fair wages and invest in local development. Tread lightly in fragile environments. Many of the world's most beautiful places are also the most vulnerable. Be responsible travel can help to preserve them. Don't touch the wildlife. Even if an animal looks friendly, touching can harm or disrupt its behavior. Avoid animal entertainment. If you can, skip things as elephant rides or tiger selfies or, those type of things, where they're obviously exploiting the animal in some bad way for profit. Practice eco-friendly habits. Conserve water, use less energy, and avoid excessive towel changes or long showers. Travel with humility. I think this is really a great one. Like travel isn't about imposing your standards on the world, it's about learning. Be humble, have humility, learn from others. Don't complain about differences. Things will be different. That's the point. Instead of judging, try to understand. It's so interesting. There's so many people that travel and then they spend the whole time comparing what they're seeing there versus what it is at home. I remember I was once in China, and this is before China had a lot of McDonald's. This was many, many years ago. And I remember sitting in this restaurant listening to this family talk, and they were saying how, oh, well, we need to go to Hong Kong to get some McDonald's because it's just not, the food just is not good here. Don't compare. In fact, enjoy the differences. Stay curious and open. Ask questions with genuine interest, not superiority. Really be curious, want to find out. Don't try to fix things. You're not there to correct or criticize a country's system. You're there to learn. Watch your digital footprint. Think before you post, in a world where travel is constantly broadcast. Where we live in a world where, travel is constantly broadcast on social media. Don't geotag sensitive places. Over-tourism can damage sacred or ecological sensitive spots. Share stories, not stereotypes. Highlight the positive and acknowledge complexities. Share the beauty you find, but don't gloss over, real issues, but really share the beauty that you find within your travel so others can learn from it. Understand the impact of your presence. Where possible, limit your carbon footprint. Visit lesser known spots. Help spread the tourism revenue. This is one of my favorite things to do, is go to places where maybe it's not on the main track, it's off the beaten track. This is one of my favorite things to do. Travel off season. Destinations overwhelmed during high season can benefit from visitors during quieter times. Engage with the community, not just the sites. Don't just visit attractions. Get to know the people who live there. This is also one of my big things that I love. I have always loved and appreciated getting to know local people as I've traveled. Attend local events, from markets to festivals, local gatherings. Volunteer responsibly. If you're able to and you have the time, find a way to volunteer responsibly. Stay longer. Fast travel can be shallow. If you're able to, have slow travel where you go deeper and you appreciate more. Be grateful and not entitled. You are not owed a perfect trip. Delays, miscommunication, discomfort are part of the experience. Practice patience. Take a deep breath and practice patience. This I feel is very important. Respond with grace. Show gratitude. Say thank you often. Appreciate the chance to be there. Realize what a great opportunity it is that you're able to travel and to be there and to have these experiences. Leave a positive legacy. Whether it's a kind word, a generous tip, or a thoughtful review, leave something good behind. Make sure that when you travel that you have left some part of yourself behind there in a positive and uplifting way, that you have left your mark and somehow made the world a better change. Travel is a privilege, it's not a right. In a globalized world where the actions of one person can ripple across borders, traveling responsibly is more important than ever. Just because you can go somewhere doesn't mean you should treat it carelessly. Even if a place appears polluted, disorganized, or under-resourced, that is never an excuse to add to the problem. It's the opposite. It's a call to be better. Treat every country, culture, community you visit with the care you'd want visitors to show in your home. When you travel this way, with humility, respect, and responsibility, you don't just take memories, you leave a place better than you found it. And that's my challenge to all of you, that as you're traveling, leave wherever you go, the place wherever you go, leave it better than where you found it. Be that kind of traveler. That's what it means to live your life as a global citizen. And that's what we talk about here in the Dusty Roads and on my blog, A Bus on a Dusty Road. It's all about living your life as a global citizen and leaving wherever you travel better than how you found it. This is Anita from the Dusty Roads podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you'll press the subscribe button and join with us as you live your life as a global citizen and become part of our community.